Morning everyone, I hope you're well. I hope you had a good Friday and you have a really good weekend. Just once again, thank you very much for all the really nice comments I'm receiving on the channel, everyone. Thank you, thanks a lot for that. I really do appreciate that. Again, if you're not a subscriber, please smash that subscribe button and smash the bell, tick the bell, smash the like button. Just do that now before you watch the video, that's great. And also, I see a lot of people are sharing the videos on social media as well. That's really good. If you can keep doing that, guys, just share with family and friends and bring them into the channel and we'll all learn together in this space. So that's great, guys. Thanks a lot, yeah, cheers. So just moving on now with Bitcoin. As you can see, we did get that bounce yesterday off that trend line that we're targeting there in the trend on, I think that's on the daily time frame there, guys. So take a quick look at that. Yeah, you can see that trend line there and we're bouncing off it, so which is nice. You can see we wicked down and we got the bounce off it, so that's showing really strong support in this uptrend, guys. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on now as support going forward on the daily time frame. We can keep getting bounced off this support line on the way up. But just jumping onto the 4 hourly again, so you can see that our next move that we're targeting on Bitcoin is our inverse head and shoulders. So we're coming down, that's the shoulder, that's the head, that's the other shoulder. So we are basically targeting up here, okay, to move up here to this level, to this trend line here, guys. Once that is broken, then I would definitely look to long up to 60k, our position up to 60k, which is that length there, isn't it, guys? From there down to there, from the point at which we break, which I will update you guys if it happens in real time. I'll put it in the Telegram channel there, so potentially we could be looking at a breakout at that point. I wouldn't go long necessarily just yet, because I'm going to show you another pattern that we've discovered on the hourly time frame as well. I would wait for us to get up to there, guys, and then break this neckline here. If we break this neckline, then that inverse head and shoulders is validated, and you could potentially be looking at a trade, providing we break that neckline, okay? So that's something you need to keep an eye on. This is on the 4 hour time frame, guys. You could potentially be looking at a 16-17% trade. So you could go long at that point. You could go long on Bybit or Binance or wherever you want to go long, guys. I will drop a link to Binance and Bybit below in the description below. So yeah, you could go long at that point, providing we break that neckline. And that could happen anytime over the weekend, if not Monday morning. So remember that traditionally Sunday is a bit of a bad day for Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens, because I just want to show you another pattern that we've noticed on the hourly time frame, guys. So potentially we're looking at another pattern on the hourly time frame, guys. I know we have our pattern here, the inverse head and shoulders on the 4 hourly time frame, but notice as well we've got a head and shoulders pattern forming on the 1 hour time frame as well here, guys. If we look here, could say that this is the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern that we're forming now on the hourly time frame. You can see here that this is the left shoulder. We've broke through this resistance here. We've come back, tested this trend line as support, gone up, okay, gone up there, got rejected, come back down and tested this trend line again as support. And what it looks like we could be forming now, so that's the head of the shoulder, head and shoulders pattern, sorry. This may be forming the right shoulder of the head and shoulders pattern, but what we're looking for here to invalidate, this is Bitcoin, okay, what we're looking for here to invalidate this head and shoulders, which would actually more than likely validate our inverse head and shoulders, which is a very bullish signal because it will shoot us up to 60k. What would invalidate this now is if we can come down, we potentially may come down, this is a may, guys, okay, it's not financial advice, it may happen. And if we start to bounce off this trend line now, that means that our entire uptrend, this inverse head and shoulders, is potentially on the cards. And what I spoke about in its previous segment, where if we break this here, then I would definitely be looking to go long. I would actually be really confident to say I'd go long from here if we bounce off it really well, because that would give you almost 25% long up to 60k. Okay, so that's a potential play. But what we need to keep an eye on, guys, over the next few days is you may see us break down. This may be invalidated, this head and shoulders on the hourly time frame, and you may see us just pump here all the way, break this resistance, and up we go to 60k. So that is a possibility as well, right? But what I want to make you aware of now, what the trade that we could be looking at here is obviously a bearish trade, that we could come down and we could break this trend line, which would be bearish in the long run, to be fair, because that's our trend line that we are targeting. Then we could lose that, come down, test the neckline of this head and shoulders on the 1 hour time frame, and then obviously we would see a dump, and the dump there would be from the top of the head there down to the neckline, guys. Okay, and so what you do, the point of the breakout is where you're looking to go. So say we was to lose it today and Bitcoin corrected and went down to this level, broke this neckline, validated this head and shoulders on the hourly time frame here, we would be looking at a dump down to roughly 40k, which would bring us well down to the 55 EMA on the daily time frame. I'm sure it will. I think actually we would be a little bit below the daily time frame on the EMA, and this would be a really bad sign for Bitcoin, really, because this trend line would be broken, our long daily trend line, sorry, on the daily time frame that we're targeting for Bitcoin. So all in all, we do, this is a very important level for Bitcoin now over the next few days, guys. This is really important, probably the most important trading technical analysis that we're keeping an eye on for Bitcoin in the past few weeks, because this is a very critical area, this particular area here, because if we potentially lose this support line now, we could dump down to this neckline, which would validate this head and shoulders. Then we may bounce off it a little bit, but if we was to lose that, then you're looking at us definitely hitting down there at 40k, and that would be really bearish for Bitcoin and crypto in general for at least March anyway. So that's just potential play. Hopefully that's not on the cards. We do come down to this support line here, guys, and we just come down and we get a test of support there, and then we bounce up. That would be the really nice play here. One thing that is really positive is Ethereum, and I'll show you that now, because Ethereum is showing really significant strength. So for me, I do think that Ethereum potentially be carrying the market for a little bit, and I'll show you why, guys. I'm going to jump into the Ethereum chart right now. So on the Ethereum chart, I'm just going to bring up the daily time frame, guys. I always like to zoom out and look at the different time frames, and I was looking at this earlier, and I've noticed something. I've noticed that not only are we showing really good strength bouncing off this 55 EMA, guys. Let's clean this up for you. Not only are we showing really significant strength, the fact that we have come down and we've tested this 55 EMA, guys, and we're bouncing off it as support, that's really bullish, because like I say to you in so many videos, we do need to see these tests of these EMAs. You can see, just like Cardano, look, if you look at Cardano, this is a very similar chart to Cardano. We've gone up in layers, and we topped out, we've come down, we've tested the 20 EMA, and we fell through, and we're testing the 55 EMA as support. And the fact that Ethereum's bouncing off it is really significant. Okay, so we are bouncing off this 55 EMA. A lot of people like to use the 50. I'll show you, it's not really a great deal of difference if I show you what it looks like on a 50. It's not much difference. It moves it up, it makes it a little bit tighter to the 20. I like to use the 50 because it just allows me that little bit more room on the charts, and you will see it does tend to hit the body of the candle on the 50 more times than it does on the 55, sorry, that does on the 50. Always use the 55 in my opinion, but again, that's personal preference. I like to use the 55 because it just, you can see it just looks nicer, it bounces, it gives me more room between these as well, and you can sort of set up your trades a little bit better, guys. So anyway, enough rambling on. We are quite low in the RSI here, but I want to bring up another indicator that I like looking at, and that's the MACD. So you just go to indicators and you search MACD there, guys, and you just bring it in, and it'll come in at the bottom like that. Now this MACD here, this is a very similar thing, like these are the moving averages, guys, here on these lines, and this is the histogram. So what I like to look at is basically something that's in the floor. I like the way this blue line is under the orange line, because, and it's low as well on the MACD, it's very low, it's literally under the histogram, as you can see, and it looks like it's curling. The fact that we're getting supported off this 55 EMA now on the daily time frame for Ethereum, it potentially tells me that we're at the bottom. This is the bottom of this move for Ethereum, and it's about to rocket, guys, and this is a very big indicator down there, because you could effectively wait, like a lot of traders do, they'll wait for this blue line to curl like this above the orange line like that, and then they will buy here, they'll go long just here, okay, they'll go long here, but potentially when you see it doing that, you could also effectively long it prior to that bullish cross there on the MACD on the daily time frame. So again, it is a bit of a risk, it is a bit of a gamble, but I would say now that Ethereum is showing incredible signs of strength and incredible signs of bottoming out. Again, it's called confluence, guys, when you use multiple indicators to make a decision. So I'm looking at the EMA, I'm looking at the RSI, I'm looking at the MACD, looking at the volume. Looks quite like it's tailing off. We look like we're in for a big move on Ethereum. We really do. And I just want to shoot to the hourly time frame here, because I want to show you another pattern that we've noticed on Ethereum. So on the 4 hourly time frame here, very similar setup to Bitcoin. We've got an inverse head and shoulders, guys. We've come down like this, and this has created a neckline there of this inverse head and shoulders. If we just bring that along there like that, and we'll just move that up a little bit so we get as many touches as we can. You can see just here we've got an inverse head and shoulders, guys. So basically we've got our shoulder, our head, and our shoulder. And now we're toying with this trend line here, guys. Okay, we're toying with it. We're trying to look like we're trying to break out. So this may form some resistance and push us down more, which looks bearish. But actually, if we start to break out of this trend line, that's really bullish. And for me, Ethereum does look bullish. We're starting to create a bullish cross there in the MACD. The RSI is not completely overbought or oversold. We're just sitting in the middle there, which is really good. The volume's tailing off. This is on the 4 hourly time frame, guys. So potentially we could be looking for a big move to the upside for Ethereum. But of course, obviously, we could break down as well. And I'll just show you again where that target is for that move for Ethereum on the way up. If we was to break this neckline now on the way up, we could potentially be looking at a pump on Ethereum wherever it breaks this neckline, guys. So say it broke it today, you could be looking for a pump on Ethereum all the way up there to $1,941, guys. So that's a potential play for Ethereum. In my opinion, it does look bullish. It looks like that move may come because Ethereum is showing signs of bottoming out. Now, if we was to just keep crabbing along here, I would definitely be targeting this line, guys, as a breakout. And we need to break out with substance. And you may see one big fat green candle come in, and we may just push up quite a lot. So potentially that trade there, that move for Ethereum, if it was to break out to the upside, again, go long, guys. If it breaks out with substance and starts to move, then you're looking at a 20% trade there on Ethereum. So yeah, I would definitely be looking to go long. Failing that, then we'll just keep breaking down and potentially keep testing this neckline until we do break out. Then obviously we're still bearish, and you can see we are under these EMAs as well, that we could form that bearish cross there. So that's pushed us down. It's all lining up. You can see it's potentially lining up, guys. If you look at that on the 4 hourly time frame, you've got that potential bullish cross being formed just there. You see where the price is curling here, where the bullish cross is curling. We're testing this neckline. You can see we're testing it. We've pumped right up there today. I think that was. We had a little mini pump from this position there up about 3%. We've pumped up to that neckline. Obviously, you can see we're getting rejected there on that neckline. So that is a bit of a bearish sign in itself, but again, we're sort of toying with it. We're toying with the breakout, and I do believe it will come. Obviously, again, if Bitcoin can behave and Bitcoin was to bounce off that support line. So that's just some technical analysis on Ethereum, guys. Sorry, I'm rambling on. So I'll jump onto Chainlink now. Yeah, so just looking at Chainlink on the 4 hourly there, you can see we've gone up. Then this EMA, we're gluing to it now at the moment. We are gluing to it, and it's acting as a form of resistance. We do need to break above that. Yesterday we did say that potentially if we broke down, we could see this level here, this 25 as support, and that is still the case moving forward. It may have creeped up a little bit with the 55 EMA on the daily time frame. If we jump to the daily now, so yeah, you can see that the daily time, the 55 EMA on the daily is creeping up now. So as it creeps up, we will find support on that 55 daily, guys, as if we was to correct. So we can get rid of that target now. So basically we're just moving up. You can see we're toying with getting through this 20 EMA. Potentially, I think if we was to see Ethereum break out today or over the next couple of days, whatever, when it's going along testing that trend line, I think the alts will run with it. And obviously we'll see Chainlink bust through this 20 EMA on the daily time frame. Failing that, we would probably bounce back and see us bounce off this 55 EMA as critical support moving forward. And this, again, I outline why I use the 55 EMA, because look at the body of the candles, guys. Look where the body sits. We always kind of bounce off that beautifully. If I was to change that to the 50 now, like most traders use for 50, you can see where the bodies go through the 50 on the daily. So personal preference, I like the 55. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but that's why I use it, because usually look how close and body of the candle. So you can find a close on that line. Basically, you will see wicks down as we have done there, but you usually glues to it like glue. Like, it sticks to it like glue. That's beautiful. So what I'm saying, like moving forward, if it was to break down, then I would potentially target the 55 EMA on for Chainlink on a daily time frame as a buy area to go long. Okay, so that's Chainlink. If you see anything on a smaller time frame, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the hourly, guys, see if we see anything. So again, at the minute, you see we're just breaking down there, formed that bearish cross there, and we've just moved down. But we have got bought up quite nicely, and we are moving up in this new trend now, guys. So we could probably potentially drop some fib levels on that right now, just to see where potential targets are if we was to keep moving up to the upside. So obviously this was the bottom here, so we go from there up in that impulsive move there, guys. So that was the top there. So you can see that our impulsive move, as we've done so many times on the reef videos, we had an impulsive wave there, and we've had a corrective wave there. Look, we wick right down on the 0618 again, guys, and we should theoretically, this move here should be part of the impulsive wave up. So let's move this now. So let's say we are bullish and this is the start of a new trend for Chainlink. We'll move this up to the bottom of that corrective wave there on our first impulsive and corrective wave from the bottom. Let's remove that. So again, we could be targeting and this is not an exact science, guys, this is a probability. I would be targeting a move up to this potential high here for Chainlink, provided we can get some action here and just keep pumping up. We could potentially target an impulsive move up to the 29.24 area, top out there, and then correct down to this 0618 at 27.57 over the next day or so for Chainlink, providing we can keep this trend intact, guys. So that's what I say about just following trends. Once we form them, you can just keep following in these impulsive and corrective waves. So that's Chainlink on the hourly, guys. I'm going to jump into Reef now for you. So as you can see that we have shot up quite ferociously for Reef, and we are hitting a form of consolidation, which is perfectly healthy, guys. We are consolidated now in this level, so this kind of impulsive and corrective wave is kind of running out of steam a little bit. But we did say that our target was up here. I've still got that target set because I think that we will get there up to that 044 level, and then we will correct down to the 0618. But what we're doing now, we're just creeping up with the EMAs, guys. So we just use them at the moment as support. You could basically be selling on the top and buying back on the retest of this EMA support. You can see how nicely it's bouncing off. With the Bitcoin correction, we corrected down and we bounced off this 55 EMA beautifully, guys. You see that? Beautifully there. Acted as support. If we would have fallen through that, then I would have been targeting these highs, as I said to you in the previous video. But at the moment, you can see that we've actually stepped up and we're bouncing off the 20 EMA, which is even more positive moving forward. So yeah, it's just a level of consolidation, guys, and we'll probably creep up over the next few days to this 044. Again, if Ethereum was to pop out of that neckline, then it will carry the alt market with it, and I would expect a massive pump on alts to the upside, and that could potentially, that target could just be met in one big fat candle. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. But at the moment, we are just creeping up with the EMA, guys, nice and beautifully, just slowly catching monkey, as my partner says, bless her. Yeah, so we're just creeping up, and there's not much else I can really say about Reef. We're having a bit of a breakdown now, but then I would look at this, the 20 EMA here as a buy level. If you're not in the trade at the minute, you could potentially be going long there off that 50, off that bounce off that 20 EMA, guys, over the next hour or so for Reef, providing we don't break down. If we was to lose a 20 EMA, guys, which I don't know, I'm not a scientist, I don't think we will. We seem to be moving nicely. The RSI is just drifting in the middle, which is positive as well. You can see we are going up and down and up and down and bouncing off these EMAs here. So this EMA is creeping around really nicely. We're not forming any bear crosses or anything like that. We've got that bullish cross down there. As you can see, that's given us a lot of momentum in the market. Again, just testing support and just moving and creeping up to that 0444, guys. So that's Reef. Just keep an eye on these EMAs moving forward. So that's it. So I'm going to jump on to 1Inch now, guys. with 1Inch we have broke down, but we do look like we're forming something called a rising wedge there, guys, and we do look potentially like we may break down again, because a rising wedge is a potentially bearish pattern. You can see it is struggling. We had them bear flags there. Ever since there we've gone up like this, so this could potentially just be one big bear flag, but it is sort of tightening up here, so that is effectively a rising wedge, and the target is from a rising wedge. You can see it goes up like that, and it starts to get a little bit tighter in there, guys, until it decides what it wants to do. Sometimes it can break up to the upside, but majority of the time they do break down, and the target is from the initial breakdown into the wedge like that there, and it usually is the bottom of the wedge. So potentially we could be looking again, it's not certain, guys, but we could be looking at a fall out of the wedge down to the bottom here of this support line of the bottom of the wedge, which is our support there, which is at $3.54, guys. So that's potentially what's on the cards for 1Inch. The fact that this is getting tighter as well, you can see it's trading in this channel, it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It does mean that a breakout is imminent, guys, and you can see that the volume's dropping off. The RSI is at a medium level, so that's not too bad. It may continue to trade like this, and again, I could be wrong, guys. It could push up. If Ethereum blows up, then yeah, the alts will carry with it, obviously, and 1Inch could push up, but potentially the pattern that it's forming there right now, guys, it's quite a bearish pattern. It's almost an elongated bear flag, but they call it a rising wedge, where it just pushes up, but it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And it may start forming something like this until it gets to the apex like that, and then it breaks out. So that's the potential target we could be looking at for 1Inch over the next day or two. Well, that's on the hourly time frame, so that could happen at any point there. But again, we could equally break up to the upside, guys. Unfortunately, we do seem to be in a bit of a downtrend on 1Inch, and this long, what I'll do now, I'll drop this long trend line in for you as well, guys, because this is potential resistance line moving forward, and that could potentially be where we actually do break down to the downside. I'll show you now. So that trend line, like I've always said to you guys, always put your trend lines in where you can. So we'll elongate that there. So basically we're just caught in this downtrend at the moment, and you can see this line here is acting as resistance, you know, on the way down. So you may see us push up to that sort of level and get rejected there and push back down to this this 354 level down there where we've got support. So that is potential play. So I would be looking at that level there as we move up, guys, on 1Inch. Hopefully we can get that breakout, but that is acting as resistance. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you've not already subscribed, and I'll try to get back later today with a different project. But again, let's all stay positive, and let's learn together. Catch you later. Bye bye.